Quite a few years ago he came over down here. In fact, he's been here twice to this church. But one of the times he came, he talked about actually doing a trip with God right round the world. And he said that a chariot pulled up and he climbed into it. It was pulled by horses, and suddenly he was gone. And he went right round that world in that chariot, with Holy Spirit chariot, which is a bit like Elijah, how the chariots of fire separated him from Elisha. And he said they touched down in various places as they went round the world. And every place that they landed in that chariot, he actually went there later and preached. It was like a prelude to where he was going to preach. And he named quite a few places. And so that I found that inspirational. And sometimes I think, God, I'd like to get into a chariot and just go somewhere. I don't know whether you want me to or not. But it never really eventuated. But one day I don't even think I was thinking about that. But suddenly a thing like, do you know in Venice it's like a gondola? You know the gondolas in Venice? Everybody's seen those boats, right? Well, one pulled up alongside me and I got in it. And I didn't have a clue where I was going. But anyway, I'm talking about the Holy Spirit. I'm not talking about the natural. And anyway, we went to Paris. And how I knew it was Paris was because Paris has got a very distinct landmark. It's called the Eiffel Tower. And of all the towers in the world, the Eiffel Tower is distinctive. There's no other tower quite constructed like that with four legs going up to a peak at the top. And I've been up about 2 times in the natural. But the gondola pulled alongside about halfway up the tower, and just where the 4 legs actually meet, they come up, and then there's no legs left, it just goes up as a vertical shaft. And right there, the gondola stopped, and I was given a bottle of oil. And the Lord said to me, I want you to oil every leg of the Eiffel Tower. So the gondola went round the Eiffel Tower, and I poured the oil on every leg, and it ran down the 4 legs. And he said, I want you to pray that I will heal France. Now at that time, it's about 15 years ago, France was having tremendous amount of problems. There were about 6,000 cars burnt, and they blocked the tankers coming into the oil refinery. And so this was just kind of like a thing that happened. I never asked for it. I didn't know where I was going. I knew where I was because it was the Eiffel Tower, so it was a distinctive landmark. And I like France. I like the people. I find them very polite. I find it a nice country to visit, and I've been there many times. So I don't know whether God sort of saw my heart is towards bonding with people in France or not. And I'm just saying this because I've got about 4 or 5 of these to share, and I've never shared them before. And I believe it's the time to share this kind of stuff, because I've probably been afraid of maybe seeing a weirdo, or being hyper spiritual or something crazy. But I'm really just poor when it happened to me. But I've got about another 3 to share, so I will share them. Another time I was in France. I don't know if it's in France or England, and suddenly I was carried up. I don't think I was in a gondola, and God took me all the way down the Atlantic coast of France, not the Mediterranean, but the land. And he gave me a bag of seeds. I don't know what they were. And I was to sow them like an aerial top dressing right down the coast, which I did. And I don't know what that was for. But anyway, that happened. So I'd just like to say this right here. And I'm not preaching anything. You guys have done a great job this morning. Be encouraged. And I just thought I'd finish off because I want to keep that theme going of what can happen in the supernatural and how we can go and lay hands on people. It's rather a strange realm, because if you go to a place you know where you're going. But if you go to, I've got another one where I went to a person and I didn't know where I was going. But I'll tell you that next Sunday if you're around. So